Welcome to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. I'm Calvin. Thank you so much for stopping by today. The subject of my vlog today is, can I trust the doctors in the Philippines? Before I get started, let me welcome my viewers and subscribers. Thank you so much for your kindness, your generosity, and your support of my channel. It's truly been amazing, and I'll never take that for granted. Let me put this disclaimer out here first. Self-care is the best care. A balanced diet, physical activity, and a healthy lifestyle go a long way in general in keeping us healthy. It doesn't hurt if you've got favorable genes. But according to an article on insurance.com, internationalinsurance.com rather, the Philippines has accredited hospitals and well-trained medical providers. In most cities, healthcare in the Philippines will be just as good, if not better, than in your home country. The healthcare system in the Philippines is steadily improving. But because it's so spread out over 7,600 islands, a lot of the remote areas don't have up-to-date equipment or adequate staff. Quality of healthcare services will vary by facility and region, end quote. This is in response to a question that I received on one of my videos. He says, hey Calvin, can you talk about the healthcare in the Philippines? Is it going to be hard for me to find a competent local doctor, etc.? And I've done several vlogs on this, and this will be sort of like just an update. I'll give you my boots on the ground, personal experience with the healthcare system and doctors in the Philippines. First of all, my son, he'll turn 12 November the 3rd. He was born in Cebu City. His doctor was Dr. Velasquez, and back in 2010, I had no knowledge of the Philippines. I had no reason to think that healthcare here was any different than anywhere else on the planet. Dr. Velasquez was professional. She was very attentive, very caring. Her office reminded me of the local clinic that I went to at home. She even answered questions for me. She was asked me questions. She was a very worldly, well-traveled doctor. I remember going in there and she had a picture of her and Manny Pacquiao. And remember in 2010, Manny Pacquiao was one of the most famous people on the planet at that time. But she had attended one of his fights in Las Vegas. But anyway, what really impressed me about Dr. Velasquez was she had a delivery room. She had 2 delivery rooms attached to the back of her doctor's office, and she did the deliveries personally, and it was a smooth delivery. Everything went right. She was as good, if not better, than any doctor I've ever had any experience with. He was healthy, as you all know by now, and she kept the bill down. Altogether, 2 days in the hospital. I apologize just, but they're preaching over here. 2 days in the hospital, delivery, all the medicine, all the services that she provided was 17,000 pesos. That was my first experience with a Filipino doctor, Dr. Velasquez in Cebu City. So I give her a 10 out of 10. The next time was with the birth of my son Gabriel. This was in a whole different island, Zamboanga City, Shodad Hospital. Now he was born premature. He was born in 7 months, so he was 2 months premature. They gave him a 50-50 chance of survival. he spent 18 days in the hospital, 16 days in a World War II incubator. And on the 16th day, they let him out, and he was assigned probably one of the best pediatricians maybe on the planet, because our son was in bad shape. He had a 50-50 chance of survival, but not only did he live and thrive under the care of this doctor, but now he's bubbly, man. He's bright, he's intelligent, of a 10-year-old as I've ever seen. Those are just two striking instances of the healthcare that I've experienced. Now, both of these were private. One was a private, both were private doctors, obviously. Soledad Hospital is a private hospital in Zamboanga. And, you know, I had to pay a lot of money, you know, on Filipino standards for the care. But to answer the question, can I trust my doctor in the Philippines? Absolutely. Now, I know people are going to talk about, well, what about Moonshine Shoulder situation? Well, remember I said self-care is the best care. And if you show up to the hospital in pretty bad shape, there's only so much that the doctors can do depending on how bad your condition is. But it wasn't like he was thrown in the garbage or thrown in the trash. He was in Ace Doctor Hospital in Dumaguete at first, and then he followed that up in Chonghua Hospital in Cebu. I just think that John's time ran out. There wasn't a whole lot even the best doctors could have done for John. But I went to the doctor last week, and with another stellar visit, I was having, you know, just some knee problems, and I went in and talked to the doctor. Again, he's very attentive. Hey, buddy. Asked the right kind of questions, and ended up writing me a prescription. And I thought to myself, well, hell, he didn't even give me an exam. He didn't do anything that I was expecting him to do. Hey, and he ended up writing me a prescription, and come to find out, it was just what I needed. I was cured of my ailment just from him sitting there and talking to me. So yeah, it's just like, and I'm gonna put the link in my description of this article on internationalinsurance.com. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting the internationalinsurance.com, where it says that the Philippines has competent medical providers, very good hospitals. It just depends on the facility and the region. It's so spread out. A lot of these places, these remote places, provinces and different things like that, they're not going to have the up-to-date equipment or the adequate staff. But in most cases, man, where you go to the hospital or to the doctor here, it's as good, if not better, than what you're receiving in your home country, believe it or not. Healthcare is improving dramatically over here. Now, the last thing I'll talk about is a friend of mine, and this is just something that he was talking to me about. He said he had some gas, some bloating, and some chest pain, so he went to see the doctor. And the doctor told him that he had an enlarged heart. Well, he said, Calvin, I don't know how that could be. He said, I just had a complete physical in February before I came to the Philippines. He said, can I trust that doctor? I said, well, what else did he say? He said, well, then he wants me to take this expensive test. I said, well, how expensive is it? He said, $1,500 US. You know, that's a lot of money over here. That's about 75,000 pesos. you know, I'm not a doctor, so I couldn't really give him any other information than get a second opinion. Just go in and get a checkup here. Don't tell the doctor about anything that you've been experiencing, and then go from there. But yeah, self-care, guys. You know, he did take my advice. He got a thorough physical before he got over here. But hey, how you doing? But things happen over here. A lot of our eating habits change over here. The type of foods we eat change over here. Our activities either start or stop over here. And it can all change. It doesn't hurt to have good genes, but a balanced diet, physical activity, and just living a healthy lifestyle goes a long way in keeping us healthy. But to answer his question, absolutely you can trust the doctors here in the Philippines. I've had nothing but great experiences with. I mean, my son, they gave him a 50-50 chance of living. I mean, he was so little, they didn't allow him out of the hospital. 18 days in the hospital. And, you know, 350,000 pesos was the total. Which, American standards, man, that's nothing. But over here, that's a fortune. And he's living, not only is he living, but he's thriving. He's bubbly, he's intelligent. Go back, you'll see when I was down in Zamboanga, I went to visit him, man. He's very intelligent. And I want to thank that pediatrician down there. I want to thank Dr. Velasquez in Cebu City. My son ranks here in the Philippines in the top 3 in his class ever since he started school. She kept the coach down. She was very professional, man. Very knowledgeable. She even asked me about my family history. Her office reminded me of the office that I used to go to at Park Duval Health Clinic in Louisville, Kentucky. It was no different. So thank you so much for stopping by today. You know, I made this video on Sunday evening. I'm here in Center Mall because I'm leaving early in the morning to go to Dumaguete for my exit clearance for my visa run. You know, when you stay here past 6 months, you can't just leave the country. You have to get an exit clearance. And that's what I'm going to do in the morning, so I won't be able to make a video. So I'm uploading this at about 6 o'clock a.m. on Monday morning. So it's late in America, and before you let your head hit the pillow, please find somebody to help. If you don't want them to make grocery runs, beer runs, weed runs, just getting off second shift, or you're on your lunch break, you see somebody out in the street, buy them something to eat, buy them something to drink, give them a few dollars. I hope I can upload this before that Miami Heat and Boston Celtics game comes on, because I know you guys won't be watching this. I want the Celtics to win, not because I'm a Celtics fan, but because I think they'll better match up with Golden State. If you're in the Philippines, by the time I upload this video, it's early in the morning. It's going to be 6 o'clock. You have the whole rest of the day to find somebody to help. Because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. When we help other people, we help ourselves. Take care. Stay safe. Stay COVID-free. I'll see you next time. This is the compound of the priest who did our housewarming yesterday. It's a beautiful place. And y'all going to keep it up. And you're going to wake up a sleeping giant over here. And you don't want to do that. Take care.